It is finally time for my top 10 books of all time. Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? I'm Jax, and I like to read. This is the conclusion to my 5-video Introduction to BookTube series. I have put out 4 videos so far. Each is a top 10 for my classics, fantasy books, science fiction books, and then just all the books that don't fit into one of those categories. If you haven't seen those, check those out. Today, we're going to take from those lists and we are going to compile my ultimate top 10 list. It's going to be a genre-less top 10. It's just, these are the 10 books that I think are the best that I have read so far. And if you don't know anything about me, I have been reading for about 2.5 years. I took a huge break between high school, college, probably like 10 to 12 years of not reading at all. So I am very happy to be back reading. And these are all books that I have read since I started reading again, those 2.5 years ago. So, 2.5 years is not very long, so there's still tons to get to, but I've been really fortunate to have read a lot of amazing books, and I am really happy with all the books on this top 10. I'm sure that there are books that could take a spot, in the future, but for now, I love every single one of these books, and I'm so happy to share this kind of final list with you. In my previous top 10 videos where I talk about, the different genres, the different books that I love within those genres, I spent a lot of time kind of talking about why I love the book, all spoiler free. And so here, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to go through the list, maybe give a few insights into why I have a certain book above another one, and then we'll just kind of go from there. And if you want to see the descriptions of those books, get a little more insight into why I love them so much, please go check out those first 4 introduction videos. There are 10 books on this list. I have wrote down where they break down into categories. We have 4 fantasy books, which makes sense. That is my primary genre after all. We have 3 classics, 1 young adult, 1 science fiction, and then 1 just kind of general fiction. I think that this list really shows viewers kind of who I am as a reader and what I value in books, the books that I love. So without further ado, now that we had that nice little breakdown of genre, let's get into the top 10. Number 10, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This was the first epic high fantasy, whatever you want to call it, that I read when I got back into reading, and it will always hold such a special place in my heart. I love Kaladin Stormblessed. I love Dalinar, Jasna, Shallan, Adolin. All of the characters are so well done in this book. The magic system with Stormlight Archive is amazing. I love how it's expanded upon throughout the other books. And Brandon Sanderson is a fantastic author, so I'm very glad that this was my intro into him. I've done a lot of exploring into the Cosmere. I'm sure I'll make some videos about that. But yeah, top 10. It's an incredibly solid fantasy book. It's a great intro into an amazing series in the Stormlight Archive. Absolutely love this book. It is a big boy. It's over 1,000 pages, as is the rest of the Stormlight Archive. I think something you'll notice about this list is there are a lot of big boys on it. I do tend to read pretty big books, but the bigger the book, if it's good, the better. Number 9, The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, book number 2 in the Wheel of Time. We're going to stick with fantasy here. I love The Wheel of Time. It is one of my favorite series ever. Talk about an insane commitment. You can see all of them back here. It is a 14-book series. There's 4.5 million plus words, like 1,500 plus named characters or something insane like that. It is a series that you commit to, and it commits to you. I mean, it is so much fun. And this book is so special to me because I love the whole chasing after the horn. I love some of the moments with Rand, and then I love the ending. The ending to me is just the first, like, wow, this is such an epic scale fantasy story. And this is where the Wheel of Time, a very beloved series of mine, it becomes the Wheel of Time. A lot of people compare Eye of the World, book number 1, to the Lord of the Rings, and I kind of understand that. But from this book on, the Wheel of Time becomes the Wheel of Time. It's not trying to copy anything. It is its own story, and it is amazing. Number 8, The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This is that kind of just general fiction that I was talking about. Post-apocalyptic world. You have a father and a son going up this road, trying to get to safety, and it is just filled with so many tense, so many deep moments. There's such a strong connection between the father and the son, the father and his refusal to let go of what's right, his constant battling of what's happened to humans in this apocalyptic world, trying to protect his son, trying to carry the light. It is just such a beautiful book that has an ending that just rips your heart out. And it is one of those books that is on this list because it has stuck with me for so long, and I recommend it to so many people. Shout out to my boy Ethan for recommending me to this. I love it. And Cormac McCarthy had to have a spot on this list without a doubt. He is one of my favorite authors. I love all of his stuff. And yeah, I can't say enough about how good and just how emotionally moving the road is. It's such a great book. Number 7, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, most specifically The Lightning Thief. I could have chosen any book from this series, or really the Heroes of Olympus series for that matter. I absolutely love Percy Jackson. It is one of the books that I was obsessed with when I was a kid before I took that long break I told you about. This was the first series that I read when I got back into reading those 2.5 years ago. I read all 5 of the originals and then all 5 of the sequels in less than a month. Percy is just such a meaningful character to me. The entire Percy Jackson story. I do think that if I would have read it more as a kid, I might have stayed a reader, and it'll just always be one of my favorite stories. Percy will always be one of my favorite characters. I love all the Greek and Roman god elements. And the thing that's great about it is that there's all these characters, Percy, Annabeth, Grover, all the different gods. I feel like they all have such great depth to them. And you just feel like reading these stories, you're a part of the group. Like you were there at Camp Half-Blood. It's just so much fun. I wanted nothing more as a kid to be a son of Poseidon, get into Camp Half-Blood, shack up with Percy. I mean, unbelievable. It just such a good story, and I think it's young adult and it's regarded as young adult, but I love that every age of people read this book and love it. And just you could be 5 years old, you could be 105, it doesn't matter. You're going to love this book, and it will always have a spot on my favorite book list. Number 6, we have Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I love this book. It is my favorite science fiction book ever. I think that of all the science fiction that I have read, there is nothing that goes as much into detail than this book does, with the DNA sequencing, the operations of Jurassic Park, everything that goes wrong, everything they can try to do to fix it. It's all rooted in science. It all makes a lot of sense. I'm an engineer myself, so some of the stuff that they say, while, it's science fiction, it still makes sense. It all tracks. And then the horror element to this. I mean, the scenes with the dinosaurs. I like to say that the bread and butter of this book, the bread is the science, and then the butter is the dinosaurs. And I just love so much those scenes. I read this book in one shot. I think it's like 400 pages or something. I love this cover art as well. So amazing. This is the soon-to-be major motion picture. This is before they started ruining it with all the Netflix stuff. This is classy, I think. But anyway, those scenes, they grip you like nothing I've ever read. And I'll never forget some of the scenes with the Velociraptors, the T-Rex. Absolutely amazing. I think that the movie is good, but if you haven't read the book, but you've seen the movie, this is one of those where, not to sound like corny or anything, the book is so much better. And I know that so many people love the Jurassic Park story. So if you want an even better telling of it, check out this book. Top 5. These are the real big dogs. Starting out with the biggest dog, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I love this book. Man. Jane Eyre, to me, is one of my favorite characters of all time, and Charlotte Bronte's writing is beautiful. I cannot tell you how quickly I fell in love with Jane Eyre. More of like a sisterly love, brother-sister type of relationship there. But she is just, the way that she perseveres, the way that she sticks to her guns, and she doesn't, let anybody kind of try to take advantage of her. She makes sure that she sticks to what she believes in. It is just so beautiful through all the things that she goes through, and ultimately, has a great ending, something that I thought was well-deserved, and I absolutely loved it. If you just want a book that is unbelievable writing, and a character that you will never forget and you will love for the rest of your life, check out Jane Eyre. It is such an amazing and just such a book that just sticks with you like no other. I mean, it is a beautiful book. Number 4, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. This one is, I mean, just fantastic. I think volume 1, when Edmund actually gets, wrongfully put in prison, and his conversations in prison with the other prisoner is some of my favorite literature of all time. I mean, I cannot praise it enough. And then it just develops into the greatest revenge story of all time. Edmund, the way that he gets back at the people who wrongfully, put him in there, it's incredible. And there's a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of really funny moments. There's just a lot of great historical aspects. It almost reads like a historical fiction. It's just so, I mean, the story itself is unbelievable. It's a big old sucker. Everybody knows that. But man, it is so worth it. If you are putting it off because of how big it is, please don't do yourself that disservice. Please pick it up and read it. You will not regret it. It is just such a beautiful story, and you fall in love with all the characters. You hate a lot of the characters. It's just top to bottom an amazing book. Number 3, Royal Assassin, Book 2 in the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. Fitz Chivalry is potentially my favorite fantasy character of all time. Robin Hobb puts him through the ringer, especially in this book. I think this book is really where we get to know who Fitz is, and I think that's why I love it so much. There are also some really great action scenes. There's great relationship building. There's a lot of exploration into some of the magic systems involved. I think this is just the book in this trilogy where everything kind of comes together. I love the first book because you have Fitz. We figure out who he is, but he's still kind of a boy. And then the last book, the Farseer trilogy is kind of, wrapping up. So there's some big climactic moments. But this, to me, is the meat and the beautiful meat of this series. If, you're looking for amazing epic fantasy writing, Robin Hobb is absolutely the place to go. Her writing style is phenomenal. Some people say it's slow. I disagree. And then the character work is just unbelievable. Fitz, Burrich, everybody, Lady Patience, just the whole group. Shad, I mean, man, I could go on for days. It's just such an amazingly powerful book that makes you almost forced to love this series, and I cannot wait to read more Realm of the Elderlings. Number 2, Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. This book is unbelievable. Larry McMurtry has such a skill for writing things that are seemingly mundane in a way that you just can't put the book down. The way that he describes and the way that these characters go about a cattle drive from Texas to Montana, that doesn't sound all that interesting at first. But oh my goodness, the things that happen along the way, the character development, the relationship development, there are scenes where you are just on the edge of your seat the entire time. You love characters, you hate characters. I mean, it's like one of those books that's hard to describe because of how good it is. It is, man, Gus, Cal, Newt, Lori, you hate Jake Spoon. I mean, just the whole cast of characters you have these deep emotional connections with, it feels like. And that's such a beautiful thing in a book. And I think if you want that, this is the book to go to. You're going to love the entire cast. The story is amazing. The richness of this story on something that doesn't seem like it's going to be very exciting is, it's otherworldly. Larry McMurtry is a wizard. And number 1, my favorite book of all time. Honestly, I don't know if this wasn't supplanted by Lonesome Dove, Royal Assassin, or The Count, Jane Eyre, anything on this list, I really don't know if it'll ever be passed up. It's The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. The writing in this book, if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. There is not a better written epic fantasy ever, I don't think. You could say that there are some maybe that have better stories, whatever you want. The only thing that's gotten close, I think, is Hob. Hob is very, very close, actually. But I still give the edge to The Name of the Wind. I love the tasteful magic system. I love Quoth. I love just his story. It's another one of those things where, there's not always something insane and exciting happening. And that's really kind of the way that most of these books on my list are. It's not just jam-packed with action, things are happening, things are happening, things are happening, especially in my top 5 at least. It is just the beauty of the writing, the way that it immerses you into that story is so powerful, and that's why this book sticks with me so much, is because as I was reading it, and as I was reading The Wise Man's Fear, I thought I was right there with Quoth. I thought that we were, shoulder to shoulder. I was in his world. And the way it's written is him telling a story to the chronicler in the inn is just so beautiful. And the only reason this book gets, well, it's not the only reason, but one of the reasons it gets a bad rap is because Patrick Rothfuss is probably never going to finish this trilogy. The Kingkiller Chronicle is supposed to be a trilogy. We've only got The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear. And I think it's just a shame that that third one hasn't come out for whatever reason. I understand, life happens and all that. But I just think that this book is so beautiful. The story is so beautiful. And it would really just be a shame if it never got completed by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm sure, if he, God forbid, I don't want him to die anytime soon. By no means am I saying that. I'm just saying when he does pass, I'm sure somebody will, take a stab at it, try to finish it. But I really hope that it comes from him because this story is so beautiful and I want nothing more than to see it finished. So there it is. Quite the stack. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of really good cover art in there as well. I am a cover art fiend, so I'm probably going to make some cover art videos at some point. I absolutely love it. I think it brings a good book to a great book at times. Just look at this. This is all-time fantasy cover art. All the Wheel of Time. Unbelievable. Daryl K. Sweet absolutely knocked it out of the park with these. This is like the standard, I think, for fantasy books. But anyway, that's my top 10 list. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And that's it for my introduction videos. From now on, I'm going to be making just YouTube videos. I'm wrapping up Jane Austen's collection of novels, so I want to make a video on those pretty soon. I've cover art videos, just book reviews, just everything books. I love to talk about books, and so that's what I'm going to do on this channel, and I'm really excited to be introduced to y'all. I hope you like my reading style. I hope we have some similarities, and I hope you'll subscribe and follow along as I talk about books. Please comment. I would love to talk to y'all in the comments. It's so much fun to hear kind of differing opinions, just why you like certain books, why my list is good, why my list is trash. I love seeing that, and I love just hearing people's thoughts on books because Moby Dick is a great example. Not on this list, but it's probably 11 or 12. Where through comments, I've learned so much more about the book and I've learned to appreciate the book so much more. So if you have any thoughts on any of these, please let me know. Speaking of subscribing, if you don't already, go check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook as well. Post a lot of short form stuff over there. I'm very happy to be introduced now. So keep an eye out for new book videos. I can't even say it enough. I'm so stoked to be on YouTube talking about books. All right. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.